What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Javen coming at you guys back with another video. First off, I hope you guys are having a great day, and if you guys aren't having a great day, hopefully this video can make a difference, you know, put a smile on your face or something. I don't know, but I gotta be quick. So what are we doing today in today's video? So today's video, we are finally getting rid of the most annoying thing in my room, yet the most anticipating part of my car. I bought this part, I want to say months ago. I bought this part when the same month that I actually wrecked my car. I bought it first, and then like I think like a week or two later, I actually wrecked my car. That whole month I was actually gathering a lot of parts. I actually bought my SS spoiler that same month, which we are going to be installing soon, and I bought a couple more parts that month. So I was just hoarding on parts, making sure, you know, I can get parts while they can, because majority of the parts that I actually got are either really expensive online or you just can't get them in California. So I kind of took everybody's secondhand parts, and hopefully I can restore them and actually put them to great use than what they are. Enough yip yapping. What are we actually talking about in today's video? We are talking about my exhaust. Now, as you can see, it's pretty much taking up my whole closet at this point. Every time I walk right here, or every time somebody walks right here, you have a great possibility of stubbing your toe. I have to kind of like lean that part forward, or I have to actually lean the Y pipe forward to actually get to my clothes. So it is a big hassle, and I'm kind of glad that we're actually installing this today. A little more details on what this actually is. This is a speed engineering true dual exhaust system. For all my F-body people or people who aren't too familiar with F-bodies, F-bodies are actually not true dual. They are actually a white pipe, and they connect all into one one pipe, and they come out to two exhaust pipes in the back. Yet, however, as a true dual setup, you actually go from the headers, and then they actually continue the two pipes sticking out, which is why they call it a true dual, because it's actually a true dual. Also, to go with that, we also have headers as well from Speed Engineering 1/7/8. So yeah, this is actually going to be a very good investment into our car. This is a performance part, so this will be our first episode in Road to Performance. If you guys don't know, I have about 3 series going on. I have Road to Reliability, Road to Show, and Road to Performance. They all show me tackling down different...
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Why is she always hating in every video, bro? Anyway, this is actually a performance part, so this is going to be the first episode of the Road to Performance. My boy Elijah is actually going to be installing it for me today. We were actually trying to set up a time so we can both tackle it and I can document the whole thing. But, you know, he's running on short time, and then I have work as well. So he said today will be the best time for him to just tackle it while he can, instead of me waiting another week. And, you know, I actually want to just throw this on while I can instead of waiting another week, because I can't really wait that long. Just because this is a secondhand exhaust part, we really didn't get no hardware for it. So what I can recommend, or what I bought that I can recommend to you guys, is 2 things. One being the gaskets for the headers. Now if you're buying gaskets for your headers, I do recommend you going with the GM only. If you guys go with any other thing, if you guys get like, you know, some wicked shit from AutoZone or some eBay special shit, I don't recommend that. From what I was told, GM is the best way to go, just because it's very sturdy and it's already matched up to the spec of your car. There's like no modification that you have to do for it, and you won't really have to worry about warping like eBay special parts. So that's the GM header gaskets. I can't really speak right now. I just got off work, so mind me if I'm kind of slurring my words or seem kind of tired. So yeah, GM gaskets, and along with the GM gaskets, we also needed header bolts, and which is another thing I can recommend if you get ARP header bolts. Now, I'm not too fond, or I'm not too familiar with you know, which parts are the best for, you know, your car. I'm still learning as I go, but I will make sure to show you guys and recommend you guys whatever I've been told, because I have been blessed to have people in the F-body community who know their stuff actually recommend me what they you know, use in their cars. And half the people that recommend me these things actually have great quality cars. So great quality cars, I call myself that time. So yeah, I really appreciate everybody who's been recommending me parts to get and pointing me in the direction to go when it comes to installing everything. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and load everything up because we are actually going to drop the car off right now. It is 7:30, so he kind of wants to get down and dirty early, which, you know, I can respect. You know, might as well knock it out the earliest of what you can. And yeah, so let's go ahead and bring you guys outside because I do want to do a sound test, a before and after, because as you guys know, I'm pretty much running all stock from the white pipe back. From the white pipe back, I actually have an SLP exhaust, I guess you can say, which is not Trudel. So it's going to be kind of a difference. And plus, this is also 3-inch, you know, diameter. So that is going to make a lot of noise, which, you know, cops are not going to like. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. Really excited, actually. And yeah, it's the first mod of 2022. I should just show you how we're coming. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and load everything up because loading this into a F-body is possible, but it's very, very, very tight on fitment. That's all I can really say. So yeah, let's go ahead and get outside. So we just loaded everything up in the car right now. And let me go ahead and show you guys what I meant by the fitment is pretty tight when it comes to loading all this inside the car. Because I don't have a truck at my disposal. And yeah, my car is a tow truck itself. I've lugged around tires in the car before. I even lugged around a fucking flat screen TV. It just goes to show how much reliability these Camaros have. Totally joking, by the way. But as you can see already, this is what I mean. So as you can see, we have the whole exhaust in here, plus the headers. And I think this is called a something relocation bar. I don't know exactly what it's called. If I find out what it's called, I'll put it, you know, whatever, I'll put it on the screen. But yeah, I know a lot of people are gonna question why this whole exhaust is like this already. The guy that I bought it off of fully welded the exhaust, which I honestly have no problems about. Only problem that I really had about it was installing it, because with these cars we have a over the axle exhaust, which means the rear end, or the whole rear end, the exhaust has to go over that. So it's better if the car, or it's better if the exhaust is already broken up. That way you don't have to, like, you know, kind of try to finesse it. You can just, you know, slip it right over and it can just fit perfectly. But with this one, since it's already welded, my homie said he's probably gonna have to drop the rear end just a little bit, just to, you know, give himself enough clearance to actually install it and hang it up there as much as he needs it to. I kind of appreciate that he already welded it though. The reason for that is F-body Camaros are actually one of the cars that have one of the lowest sitting exhausts, and by me actually lowering it, it actually probably might cause the exhaust to touch the ground, and just by going over the little smallest bump, I'm going to scrape my exhaust. It's just a known fact. Let me show you guys just what I mean with the stock exhaust. So the stock exhaust is actually smaller than the aftermarket exhaust, and it already hangs to the floor. So as you can see, there's like little to none clearance. So if I was to scrape on the floor right now, or if I was to go over a bump right now, I would scrape. So just with this right here, I'm like, it's a guarantee that I'm going to scrape. But yeah, since everything's already loaded up, I'm going to go ahead and hit my boy, make sure he's all ready. And then we're going to go ahead and drop this off, and I'll pick up the camera once we got it all picked up and once it's all done. But right before we do that though, I do want to get some before and after exhaust clips. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump to that real quick. Nothing when it comes to revving, but I can't be too loud. It's still the morning time, and I do want to actually still live here while I can. So yeah, I'll probably get better clips, or probably better clips with this one. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this dropped off real quick. So it's the next day. We're over my boy Elijah's house. He was installing the headers for me. He mainly got everything off, and he was free today, so he was like, if you want to tag along to try to see how to do it, etc., etc., pull up. So we're here right now. as you can see, you got everything off. You got the cats off, and you got the stock shorty headers, and then we have everything right here. One thing I noticed is that, I know this is going to be a stupid observation, but these are really heavier compared to, you know, the aftermarket headers. I mean, which makes sense of material, but you would think since, you know, since it's stock, it'll be lighter. But that just shows you, you know, sometimes aftermarket is better. That's weight reduction right there that I really don't care about, but it still matters in the end. In terms of like speed and horsepower, that weight reduction does really matter. So other than that, you pretty much got everything out. We're gonna mount up the headers right now. As you can see, you got that space right there, same on that side. And if we go down here, he's ready to take this whole exhaust stuff. So yeah, pretty excited over that, pretty stoked. One thing is we might have to cut this exhaust up, because these welds have some holes in it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to install it whole like this, like we plan to. And then if that doesn't work, we're gonna end up cutting it up in pieces and then re-welding it and making the whole process smoother than what it already is. Day 2. Yesterday we had to call it quits because the gaskets that we originally got, those over there, they were wrong for some reason. Only like 2 holes matched up, but the rest didn't. It was like 2 holes and then 1 in the middle matched up and then the rest didn't, which, you know, you have to match all holes up when it comes to gaskets. So we had to call it quits last night after spending like 2-3 hours on it. And I went to O'Reilly's and ended up getting these gaskets right here. So hopefully these work. I literally specified that I was a 2001 Chevrolet Camaro 5.7, and these are the ones that they came out with. So hopefully everything goes right this time. Right now he ended up getting the rest of the exhaust out. So yeah, right now we're just gonna do the panhard relocation bar, and then we're gonna get back to installing the headers, which shouldn't take that long now since we got the right gaskets. So yeah, it's going okay. Just running into little bumps and errors. Just as long as they're little and not big problems, that's all that matters. So yeah, making some progress here. Alright, so we ended up getting this side on, which is technically the easier side. We just put 1 bolt in the back and 1 bolt in the front, and then we put the gasket in between. So we just left that like that for now. But now on our driver's side, which I guess is a lot more harder part, we are running into a lot more problems because the headers are hitting the steering knuckle, which is kind of bad because in order to kind of adjust the steering knuckle, you got to take apart your whole steering stuff and everything inside the interior, which I've done before, and it's not a fun thing. So right now we're watching tutorials to see if we can try to avoid that or kind of find a workaround. So that's pretty much our only thing we got right now. It's still pretty early. So yeah, hopefully we can figure this out in like, you know, a couple minutes just so we can put the rest of the exhaust on and finish it up. So yeah. Back and cut the stove off. So we finally got the driver's side header in. What we had to do, we had to actually move the steering column, which is right here. We had to move that out the way. Uh-oh. Yeah. Basically, we had to move that out the way in order to actually get it to where it needed to be. Now we got to figure out how to put this back over there, which it shouldn't be that hard. But other than that, both of them were mounted up. We just need to bolt them all the way down and put the gasket on that one. This one's all the way pretty much bolted up. So yeah, and then we're going to start it up in a little bit with just the headers, as you can see. Making progress. So we just got the old exhaust off, as you can see, and we also removed the old panhard bar. Also got the header on. Only thing that I remember about the header is we just got to figure out a way to get this steering knuckle or whatever it is, part of the steering column, past this header. Once we get it past the header, we're pretty much in the go of, you know, installing this whole thing. But we're actually going to wait until the car is dropped all the way to the ground so I can, you know, get a level eye to it and actually see what I'm doing rather than just peeking over it and, you know, doing something blindly. We're almost done though. Only thing we got to do is install the full exhaust and put everything back together. So it's going pretty smooth, and I'm not really recording too much because we are running out of daylight, and I kind of want to push everything, or not push everything, but install everything right now, and then, you know, give you guys little bits and clips just so we can utilize majority of the time. So yeah, we're almost done though. Can't wait to hear this thing. So only thing that we got left is the exhaust to do, but the thing is, we were left with a few options. Either cut the whole thing up and kind of give it the way it was meant to be, but they left it all welded up. So what we are going to do is drop the rear end and see if we can fit it like that, because with these cars, they're over the axle exhaust, which is a lot more difficult. I don't know why the fuck they did that, but that's what we're gonna do. So help. Like 9 o'clock in the morning. We got coffee. Ivan. And yeah, hopefully we knock this shit out today, because I really want to drive my car. I really want to hear it. We pretty much knocked out pretty much all the hard stuff yesterday. We pretty much, like I said, knocked out all the hard stuff yesterday. We got rid of all the crappy welds. Made sure it cleared, and everything seemed to, you know, fit and clear. So pretty much what today is going to be is just a race to put everything back together, because I do have work tonight, and I kind of don't want to stay past, you know, bedtime. So yeah, plans for today is clear the steering knuckle from the header, put the headers back on, put the whole exhaust back on, weld everything back together, put everything back inside, or back on as well, like the spark plugs. And we also got to make sure that that steering column gets put back together, or else we can't drive nowhere. So I won't be vlogging as much, because I'm gonna try to utilize as much time as possible, but I'll be sure to pick up the camera whenever there's a break in between sessions. So yeah, hopefully everything gets done in the next few hours. Okay, so little update. We ended up cutting, or the part that we had to cut off that was still on the header, we ended up getting that welded. Shout out to the neighbor next door. We ended up welding that back together, so this part's all good to go. And I checked the fitment, and everything seems pretty good. And then we also got, we filled in a gap over there as well, that I'll show in a little bit. We grinded everything down, and pretty much everything's ready to go. So yeah, I'll get back to you guys whenever we run into a bump. Hopefully we don't run into a bump. Yeah, we're pretty much gonna try to put everything on right now, and hopefully everything goes as well as we expect it to, because I'm ready to drive this thing and hear it. So yeah. All right, so we knocked out one issue right now. Earlier in the video I did say that we had a steering knuckle clearance issue, but we actually countered that by pushing it all the way to the front first, pushing in the header, and then we pushed up the header just a little bit. Either we pushed it up or brought it down, you can try either one. And then we adjusted, or kind of like forced our way with the steering knuckle in between. So now both of them are in, and now what we're going to do now, we're going to mount up the header first, and then we're going to put back the steering shit, just because since the header's hanging like that, we can't really adjust the steering knuckle the way we want to. But we got the steering knuckle in the position that we want, and it's kind of funny because we were actually banging it. We were just about to like full on bang it just so it has clearance, and we were actually about to drop the steering knuckle just to have clearance. But luckily enough, we actually got it to where we need to be. Now we just need to put all this back together. It's really simple. Only thing we got to do is really just push the steering shaft all the way in, and then just pick this up, bolt it all the way down. It's like 2 brackets. You got to bolt up these 2 brackets to the actual top of this, and then these 2 go around that first bracket. And then once that's all in, we can actually proceed with the install, and that's probably what we're going to be focused on, is just trying to get this fitment to actually clear. And then once that fitment's actually clear, we can move on to the mid pipe. And once we're done with the mid pipe, we can actually move on to the axle back. And then we're actually thinking about reusing these tips. If you guys don't know, these are SLP tips. I showed you guys in one of my first videos. But basically what we're thinking about doing is going to AutoZone and finding a inlet either to go around the 3-inch or to go in the 3-inch. And then we might be able to actually use these, because I didn't really order no new tips yet, because I want the new tips to match the new bumper that I want to get, which was supposed to be a surprise, but you know, letting you guys know. I'm gonna reuse these tips for now until I actually pull the trigger on buying the new bumper and the tips that I want to go with the bumper. So yeah, making progress. And by how things are looking, the car should start up today. It's still early in the day. I don't know if you guys can see that. 12:40. Kind of want to finish before 7, before 6, which is really possible at this point. So fingers crossed, we are almost there. We are literally almost there. So we got past the part that I was super scared about, which was my steering knuckle clearance. We actually got it to actually steer properly. Go ahead. As you can see, usually it'll hit, but it's doing its thing right now. So, I mean, it can possibly be different once it's on ground, but for now, as you can see, it's, you know, doing its thing. Don't mind my bald tires, okay? The camber's going away, and yeah, that's the reason why my tires are bald, because I have great fitment, but the tires are getting abused by the camber. So trust me, there is an alignment video coming soon. I just got to get new shocks and I got to get new tires. So once I get all that, I'm gonna make the alignment video. And the camber is coming back. I love the camber so much, but just the price that you got to pay for it, which is tire wear and just, you know, feeling like you fell off a cliff whenever you go over a pothole, that pays the price for it. So trust me, the camber is coming back, but I want to fix everything first and then do it properly, and I have unintentional camber. So yeah, but other than that, we are pretty much good to go. Right now we are actually hooking up the spark wires, or the spark plugs, back up, and then we might have a startup with just the open headers, because everybody wants to hear it, including myself, because I'm very curious on what this car sounds like, because I've heard it without cats, but I haven't heard it with a proper exhaust setup. So yeah.
I'm gonna put my ear.
Well, go inside.
No, I want to hear it, but I don't.
Oh shit.
Look at this.
Oh, you want me to tell it?
Yeah, I just want.
Look at.
So we're pretty much done here. We're just throwing in the panhandle bar right now. But yeah, we're pretty much done here. We do need extra piping for this to come all the way out. But we can end up doing that next week. I'm not really tripping over it. We're really in no rush to get, you know, the tips looking or how they're supposed to be looking. So I'm just gonna run it like this for now. Nothing really wrong with it. It's just gonna cut out right here. I don't have any like flames coming out my car, so it shouldn't blow out my tire or anything. So yeah, next week we probably are gonna tackle this again. Probably won't make a video on it unless they're like special tips or something. But if you guys see, you know, my car with tips on it, you know, that just means we did the tips. But other than that, as you can see, the whole exhaust is basically finished, and like we actually said, everything after the headers went on very easily. Really no fab work needed compared to when we put the headers on. So yeah, I'll get you guys when it's probably daytime, or when we get the first startup right now. So. Ready? Looks like it's smoking because we got oil and fingerprints all over it, so it burns off after a while. But I just find it funny. It's like a little side exit right here. I'm happy with it. I'm like super happy with it. It sounds really good. I just know it's gonna be loud as fuck. That's the only thing. It's gonna be really loud. So yeah, man. I'll pick this back up when it's morning time. I can give you guys some actual sound clips because as you can see, it's nighttime. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump cut to when we're off work, chilling, and I'm happy. Let's go. So it's about 2 to 3 weeks later. I've been sick, so I haven't really had time to edit, film, or do anything. But to pick off where we left off, the headers are on, full exhaust is on. You guys already seen how it sounds. Probably after this part, I'm going to actually do a actual sound test, you know, rev it, flybys, all that stuff. But today we're actually installing one more mod to complete our full bolt-on list. Now, as you can see, we have cold air intake that's made for F-bodies and stuff like that. And then we just have a whole setup. And then we also picked up this ported throttle body that he threw in for free. So shout out to him. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and install this because this battery is about to die, and it's a pretty simple install. So I just want to knock this out and then pick it up once everything is finished, once the car is clean, and once it's presentable and stuff like that. So yeah, I apologize for, you know, the time I've been gone. I was trying to be consistent this year, and I still can. It's just this month was just, you know, detrimental. Oh god, this month was just detrimental to my health. But you know, I'm recovering and I'm almost fully complete. So yeah, I'm just gonna knock this out real quick, and then the next time you guys will see, or the next part that you will see is actually the exhaust sound clip and the cold air intake review and all that stuff. So let me go ahead and install this, and yeah. And just like that, the exhaust is finished. This is like weeks after the exhaust has been finished. I got extremely sick. It wasn't COVID, so don't worry. I just caught the flu, and since I haven't had the flu in like 2 years, it whooped my ass this time, I'm not gonna lie. But you know, it gave me time to actually drive the car and get to actually get a feel for it, you know, see if I like it or not, see if I like the sound of it, and just, you know, give my actual review on it. I had weeks to actually, you know, get a feel for this car with the new setup that I'm going to be showing you guys, because yeah, I showed you guys the parts, but I really didn't really explain everything. So I'm going to get right into that right now. But yeah, here we go. Yeah, here it is. As you can see, the engine bay looks completely different at this point, and you're wondering why. I mean, you guys probably know why. You guys can see that right there. But before I even actually go through detail of what I did, follow my Instagram, because I actually show everything that I did to this car on it. If you guys haven't followed it, it's the same name of this channel, JavenLOL. Yeah, I pretty much post everything on my Instagram first, then I post it on YouTube. So if you guys want, you know, earlier look on what this car is being done to it, and just updates on this car, Instagram is the best place, because that page is basically, you know, my car's Instagram page now. I barely show up on it. So yeah, but like I was saying, before I actually go through with what is actually done now, I do have to let you guys know that I do have a misfire with this car, and it does need a tune. So around 2K RPM, it kind of like stutters a little bit, but after that it runs fine. I think that is because, so when we were putting in the spark plugs and the spark plug wires, I didn't really tighten number 7 all the way down. If you guys are wondering why I didn't tighten it all the way down, my hands are really big, right? Spark plug number 7 is way back there. All right, so if you guys want to change my spark plugs for me, let me know. You know, you guys can bruise your knuckles up and everything like that, but all my F-body guys know that number 7 is a nightmare. So don't worry, car's getting a full tune-up soon, and a tune. That way we can be running A1 for summertime, or, you know, spring, and just be, you know, mobbing without no issues. So without further ado, let's actually get to what is actually done to this car now. First things first, as you can see, this is completely different. I had a full stock, I guess cold air setup, but my boy Los actually wanted the stock one, and I wanted his aftermarket one. So we just made it even trade, and he also threw something else in that I am going to get to next. But I was never a fan of this style intake. I think it looks hideous. I do want to build like a custom one probably and relocate the battery or some shit like that. But this does perfect for now. I do notice a difference, and you know, it makes the engine bay look good than stock. It makes it look like I'm actually fast when I'm really not. So I mean, so yeah, cold air intake. I believe this is, I don't think this is K&N. It has like some carbon fiber on it, you can see. Don't know if it's real or not, but it's carbon fiber, so I mean, it is what it is. It did need a whole new setup of this. So the tubing is, you know, A1. Everything's A1. Got the sensors all plugged in, as you can see right there and right there. Like I said, this car does need a tune. So there probably is a mass airflow sensor error on my dashboard right now, but I've been had a check engine light on this car, so I don't care. So yeah, moving on. So cold air intake setup, this whole thing right here, and then back here, when I went to go pick this up, he offered me a ported throttle body. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. I don't know how ported it is, don't ask me that. I don't know the correct specs of it, but I do know it's bigger than my stock one. I did compare it, and it was a little bit bigger. So I was like, you know what, better throttle response, let's go, let's take it. Might as well, since we're already adding performance mods and everything like that. So, you know, might as well do the whole shebang. Moving on to the actual final, you know, big part of this video, the exhaust setup. I am running a 1 7/8 long tube exhaust in a full true dual 3-inch exhaust setup. Both the exhaust and the headers are from Speed Engineering. I did buy them secondhand. It took us about 3 days to put this whole thing together. It was me and my boy Elijah, his neighbor, and Ivan. You guys know Ivan, you guys seen him in the videos before. Yeah, we actually put this all together in 3 days. It took a little bit longer just because the whole exhaust was fully welded. And with this car, it's over the axle. I explained earlier in the video, but with this car, it's over the axle. So you can't just really just put it up and then mount it like that. No, you literally have to put the headers on, put the, for this instance, since we are true dual now, put the X pipe on, and then put the over the axle on. You can't just put the whole thing in, and if you can, you're a magician. So as you can see, we do have the headers right there and right there. Yeah, I mean, it sounds really good. You guys are going to hear some exhaust clips after this whole explanation part. But the thing about F-body Camaros is that it hangs really low. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see. It hangs really low, as you can see. So ground clearance got worse than what it already was. And I even planned on going lower with this car, but I am not gonna lie, I'm having second thoughts about it. Who knows, I might still feel risky and do it. But as of right now, lowering this car is on hold. But we are gonna add some extra mods to this car to make the car look lower, such as, you know, front bumper splitter, side skirts, diffuser, things of that nature. And yeah, let's go ahead and go to the back so you guys can see what it looks like from the back. For right now, this car has no tips, as you can see, no tips. But as you can see, give you guys the actual true dual setup. As you can see, one shoots straight to the driver's side rear, and the other one just comes straight back over the axle, as you guys can see. Where is that? Oh, as you can see, it's way back there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Way back there. That might have been a shitty capture of the video, but you guys get the gist. I have no tips. I am kind of contemplating what do I want. I don't know if I want to do CME exhaust. If you guys know what CME exhaust is, you guys know what I'm talking about. But for those who don't, it's basically a center mount exhaust that hangs in the center, and it's basically a long ass oval, and it looks really good. I'll throw a few pictures on the screen with people that have it. My brother, his old Camaro had it. He had quad tip CME. I'll pop that on the screen as well. But as of right now, I think I'm gonna rock no tips, and if we do decide to put tips on this car, we might even try to reuse the SOP exhaust tips. Yeah, and we might even try to do something with that. Who knows? But as of right now, running no tips. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the explanation part. I know you guys want to hear this car really bad. I've showed it, you know, in the video already, but I think it's time to actually do a startup, a rev, and probably a little flyby. Hopefully there's no cops around. I think we're in the clear. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Well, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm sorry about the delay. I guess with that being said, of the delay of me being sick, take care of yourself. Today's time, everybody has COVID and everybody has the flu. It's flu season right now, so best to be safe than sorry. You know what I'm saying? And just have good health, eat good food, healthy good food, and just be healthy. You know what I'm saying? And let your health kick your ass like it did me, and let it set you back like it did these videos. But we're back, you know what I'm saying? Right after this video, you know what I'm saying, we got another video coming out because we got a car meet coming, but you guys don't get to see that until next video. And if you guys want to see the next video and be notified, remember to subscribe, like, and drop a comment. What was your favorite part of the video? How do you guys like the exhaust? What should I do next to the car, etc., etc. And if you guys do subscribe, remember to hit that notification bell so you can join notification gang and never miss an upload with this car and my car life. With that being said, it's been your boy Javen LOL. Remember to be great, be yourself, love yourself, and as always, keep that shit peak. I'ma fuck with y'all.
Drippin', saucy, yeah, bitch, I do this often. My bitch is bad, she always in office. So I got a tags on running my body. Can't see the pads, I'm living too fast. With 20 my dash, I'm up, but I lost him. He wanna brag, I emptied his bag and took what he had. Don't care what it cost him, then he broke.